Good evening, everyone. I'm Neil John, and I will be giving a demo on my DE project, which I have titled Incident Data Analyzer today. So, the what this project aims to do is that we've been given a Norman Police website from which we take in by giving URLs, different URLs, we download PDFs from this particular website, Norman Police Department website, and using these PDFs, we generate certain insightful graphs that help us understand this data set better. So, this data set basically goes through the incidents that have occurred on a given particular day in the Norman city, and we just analyze the nature of these incidents, the time intervals when these incidents happen, so on and so forth. So now, going on to the code of this project, first of all, we let's go to the main body of our code, which is the structure of our code. That is the structure of the app, the web app, the HTML file. So when we go through the HTML file, we see that it is divided in three main parts. The first being the URL field. So the URL field is a very important field because this is where we enter the URL for the PDF from which the data will be downloaded. The next field is a drop down menu which gives us the option for either clustering data, clustering of records. This is a visualization drop down box which gives us the option of clustering records or bar graph comparison or a custom visualization, which is nothing but a pie chart in our case. So we will definitely go over these in a lot more detail, but in short, these help in generating some insights on the particular data. And furthermore, for the clustering and the bar graph, we can use two different natures. So the data which we have is nothing but different incidents that occurred on a given day during different intervals of time. Now, these two options, the clustering and the bar graph, give us the choice of selecting two different kinds of incidents, two different distinct natures of incidents. For example, traffic stop and maybe chest pain, and we can compare these two on the same graph throughout a given day to just have a comparison with us. And that is what these selected nature 1 and nature 2 drop down menu boxes do. And last but not the least, we have the analyze button, which when clicked produces the results. And that is it for our HTML. Going on to our app.py file, which is the sole engine of our code. This is where we run the code. We run the app. So the app starts over here. App is equal to flask of name starts the app. App route, we post in get methods and post methods. And you can see we take in values. The URL values are taken over here, request.form of URL, visualization value, like the type of visualization, should it be the cluster one, the bar graph, or the custom visualization? And selected nature 1 and nature 2 options are also retrieved from here itself. This response equal request.get URL just downloads the data and downloads the data from the PDF, and then it is sent into our different functions which are present in the utilities.py, which we will see pretty soon. And so if you see this is where we call the utilities.py file. PDF extractor. PDF extractor is part of the utilities. If you see over here, from utilities, import PDF extractor, and these are all the functions included within the utilities.py. Moving on to the utilities.py, we see the first one is the PDF extractor file, which is nothing but how can we extract the PDF information into a readable format for the computer, as well as easier format for the computer to read. So we extract all the text pages. We use PyPDF2 library to extract from the PDF, and we use a regex to separate out the different column names and the records given under these column names, because that is not an easy process. So we use this regex wherein we are separating based on some certain logic. Like for example, this is I think the date time. So date is of a certain format. So we 4 would be the year. This is the month. This is the date, and so on and so forth. And here we've and then we convert it into a data frame so that we can analyze it easily. And this data frame is then passed to the apps.py over here. If we scroll down, we get to see this. And here it's passed over here. And then natures is equal to df of nature dot unique dot toolist. What this helps us in is that it creates a list of natures from which we can select, and we can compare the two different natures as we mentioned above. Select nature 1 and select nature 2. So that is what happens over here. And then we go back to utilities.py. The three functions are create cluster visualization, uh, then we have create bar visualization, and we have create custom visualization. Create custom visualization is nothing but a overall overview of how each nature of incident contributes to the total number of incidents that occur in a given day. So it is just a pie chart showing that, and all the incidents that occur less than 3% times, they are categorized into the other category, other incidents category. So over here, main incidents of other is equal to. So that is what happens over here. It's for easier visualization. Whereas when we go up and we see for create bar visualization and create cluster visualization, we choose two different types of natures and compare them throughout the course of a day. And yes, that is basically it. We return this figure and it goes back to the app.py. And I'm sorry, I forgot to mention, this is where these separate functions are being called. So if visualization equal to cluster, then so and so. If it's bar, then so and so. Else this. We convert the figure to an HTML file so that it displays there itself, HTML object, and then renders it and showcases it there. Now let's run this. Without further ado, I've taken a lot of time, but I had to explain the entire thing, so it's not the most easiest of things, I would say. So when we run this, 1 second, and we have to, so how we run it is we have to type in Python app.py. We run the Flask commands, Python app.py, and then we get a link to the website, which is the localhost link. So I know there are certain warnings that are there, but they won't harm the code. So there you go. This is the HTTP link. I click on it, and I'm redirected to the website. I just put the Norman. Okay, so I have already kept this aside. So this is the Norman data set for this particular date. So daily incident data set, and select visualization. So this is the only bug in our code, that this page is a dummy page. So we have to click analyze and it redirects to the new page, which is the proper page where we can set in all the values where the graphs happen. So that is the only sort of bug that we have in our code. So over here, we have to again press in, yeah, select visualization clustering, select first nature, let it be sick person. How often does a person call sick? And traffic stop over the course of that particular day. Analyze. So we'll get a cluster, sort of like a bubble chart sort of a thing, if you see. So what we can infer from this is that um, traffic stop incidents happen usually in the evening or around, like, so this, let me tell you about the graph first of all. This is the frequency on the y-axis, number of incidents occurring, and time hour is nothing but, this is 12 o'clock, this zero symbolizes 12 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 15 is nothing but 13, and this is 20. So this is throughout the course of a day, right? So 0 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20, and 20 to 24. So there is certain, you know, it's yeah, it is generated in that sense. So we can see that sickness is high in the early hours of in the morning, and maybe through the later at night from around evening time. And so this is the kind of visualization we can expect. And if I go and check for some other kind of visualization, bar graph for the same thing, sick person and what traffic stop, we can analyze that as well, and we get a bar chart for the same thing. And there you go. This is the bar chart for it. And last but not the least is our custom visualization, which does not take in any value. So you don't need to fill in these values. Just analyze and you get it. Okay. Okay. So you have to fill in, but it does not matter. These values are not taken into consideration. It's just a, so I've given this as compulsory, which I can change it later in the code. But so this is the graph. As you can see, 9.454% is the traffic stop, due to which there are incidents occurring. So traffic stop accidents are the most common. Next, with injuries accidents, then comes sick person accidents, which is 6%. Welfare check, suspicious, chest pain, larceny, and trespassing, and less rest of others. And so this is basically the project. And yeah, I feel what this project does is it creates a um, understanding between the data and how it makes sense out of the data, because there are just two main columns in the data set, which is nothing but the nature of the incident and the times it has occurred, which is the count. Because others, and throughout the day, like there are time intervals as well, so we can check that as well, as we saw in the previous visualizations. So throughout the day, maybe burglaries happen through in the night, they tend to happen in the night or something on those lines. So yeah, that is my project, and I think that would be it from my side. Thank you.